Yes, ma'am. Hold on. I'm trying to.
Hi, Miss Cat. How are you?
I'm blessed. And you?
I'm good. All right. So, is your name? Can I call you Miss Cat? Is that fine?
Yes, that's fine.
How old are you? Where are you located?
Hmm, I'm 50 and I'm in USA.
Okay. Are you comfortable saying what state you're in?
I'm in Houston.
And what do you do for a living?
I am a CPS. I'm a caseworker. I work with kids.
Do you have any children?
I have two.
Would you date a man with children?
Yes.
And can you describe your dream man? Don't describe his looks.
Hmm, somebody's tall. Oh, you said describe him. A godly man, a man of God, a leader, a provider, somebody that's consistent, somebody that communicates well.
And what does he have to look like, Miss Cat?
He has to be tall, average built, handsome.
And how tall is tall for you?
um, I'm 6 feet, so he can be 6'2", 6'3". Well, 5'11" and up.
And does he have to make a certain amount per year?
He can make 150K a year.
And are you open to all races?
Yes,
All right. And are you into a 50-50 partnership or a man who fully provides?
a man that fully provides.
Can you give me three deal breakers?
A person that lies, a person that has a bad habit, and a violent person.
Okay. And can you give me one reason why you think you're single?
Because the relationships of this modern time is just not for me. I'm traditional. I don't like all the new wave stuff and certain things. I'm just not gonna settle.
Okay. And Miss Cat, can you give us some examples because you are a more mature woman? Can you give me maybe one example from your experience living in Houston that you feel like the men aren't traditional? Like, what does that look like? What have you come across?
Can I give you a couple things, or just you just want one? It's fine.
No,
Um,
you can give a couple, yes.
One thing is the modern men of this generation, they're not opening doors, and then you got some that's not take you on dates. They want you to pay for it. And I feel like that's not acceptable. And I will not accept that in no kind of way.
Would you relocate for love?
Yes.
There one thing about yourself that you feel like you need to work on so you can be a better partner in your next relationship?
I'm kind of, I'm kind of like things my way. So I kind of say I'm an alpha female. I kind of like, I always want things to go my way and I have to work on that.
Thank you for coming out, Miss Cat, and please keep me updated, honey.
I will do. You have a blessed day.
You too, darling. I like her. I like Miss Cat. Miss Cat seems like she's lived a long life, seen a lot of things, and Miss Cat is not dealing with anything bare minimum, okay? She's like, I lived a long time. I've seen a lot of things. No, actually, I don't want to laugh. No, I don't want to laugh. Yeah, she's very mature, and I think she's been through a lot in life. She's been through a lot in life.
Hi,
Hi, how are you, Amy?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm a big fan of yours.
Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. How old are you? Where are you from? And what do you do for a living?
46. I'm born and raised in New York City, but I live in Virginia now. I'm a technical recruiter for a government contracting company, and I've been single now for about 3 years.
Do you have any children?
No, no children.
Would you date a man with children?
I would because I realize the dating market for somebody my age, they are most likely going to have kids already. So it's a realistic reality that I have to deal with.
What's your age range for dating?
I would say anywhere between the youngest I would go is 35, the oldest would be 50. So like 35 to 50.
Describe your dream man, but don't describe his looks.
I would say a man that communicates well, a man that is in touch with his feelings, not scared to show his sensitive side, and I would say generous as well.
What does he have to look like?
Um, I would say look wise, I'm tall, I'm 5'9", so somebody probably 6 feet and up. I wouldn't have to say that they would have to look like a bodybuilder or on the cover of GQ, but a man that takes care of himself. I know that when I was actively dating, I noticed little things like if your nails are not kept, you didn't get a fresh haircut, you didn't look presentable for a first date. These are things that kind of throw me off and you won't see me again because I got to make sure I'm always put together. And when I see that these men don't take an extra level of care to show up presentable for a first date, I have run into that a lot. So I feel like I've sort of given up on the dating market because of that, but now I'm kind of back out there again and it's been rough.
So, Amy, let me ask you. You said
Hmm.
you run into a lot of guys who
Yeah.
come show up to the first date, for lack of a better word, looking
Hmm.
dusty. What does that look like? Are they wearing stained shirts when they show up to the date? What are they wearing? Are they just not putting any effort? Sweats?
Yeah. Sweats, backwards cap, nails are not clean, juice off their fingers. I mean, all kinds of really nasty. Yes. I'm not kidding.
wait,
Just very
so
bad
you sat
etiquette.
at a table with a man who sucked the griddle from the bone of a chicken, the griddle.
Yeah. It's just not for me. I mean, I'm from New York. I've only been out here, what now, 8 years? I mean, I know you're from New York, Ashley. Like, we're just a different caliber of woman. Like, I mean, I'm sorry. It's just something I'm not going to put up with. And I'm not asking for a man that's a millionaire. I'm not asking for a man that's a GQ model. But if you don't show up clean and put together for a first date, having some kind of cologne on, because I made sure I was dressed to the nines on our first date, that shows me you just don't care.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
And
that's why I'm single.
how much money does this man have to make?
Make just a little over 100,000. So I would say at least what I make or more.
Okay. And are you into 50-50 or fully providing partnerships?
I would say 50-50 for me would feel like I'm a roommate. I'm not looking for a roommate. I'm looking for marriage or a relationship. And I would say I would look for a provider, but if I have to come through and pay for everything, if need be, I can. And I'm willing to do that. But I don't want to be with a man that's sitting there saying, have to mortgage you. Uh, I can't do that. It's not for me. And I'm traditional in the sense that I do work, I do support myself, but my home will be cared for and my home will be taken care of. The meals will be cooked. My house is always going to be clean. So I don't mind doing all that. But I can't do 50-50.
50.
So the deal breakers would probably be number one, if you have more than one baby mama, not happening for me because I've been there, done that. I would say number two, a man that can't communicate. And I would say number three, a man that has no ambition.
And can you give
Mhm.
me one reason why you think you're single?
Because the market for a woman in my age group is stagnant. There's just nothing out there quality wise that I feel like I will have to introduce in my life and disturb my peace for. Like you said earlier in your life today, the Netflix and chill by yourself and working on yourself gets old. And that's where I'm at now. I'm done with being single. But at the same time, am I going to let somebody in to disrupt my peace? No, it has to be somebody exceptional. And I haven't found it.
I would say, it is challenging, I think, from all women across the board. No matter
Hmm.
how old you are, from the
Hmm.
youngest to the more mature, no matter what race you are, I think a lot of women are saying the same thing on the internet.
Yeah.
It's a challenge to find the man that you have in your head. Even if you take off 3 notches, like, okay, well, you don't got to do that, you don't got to do, you don't do. Still, even still, I'm hearing that's a challenge. Is that fair
Yeah.
to say, Amy?
Absolutely. I mean, and again, it's not that I'm super picky. It's just that at this age, at 46, the things that I've accomplished in my life and what I do for myself, I'm not willing to compromise. I'm not willing to do struggle love at 46. It's not happening. That's for the 20-year-olds. I don't want to do struggle love. I want a partner. I want somebody I could grow old with, somebody that shares my ideals, my values, and somebody that brings just as much to the table as I do. And if I don't find that, I'm going to be forever single, unfortunately. I don't want that to be the case. I'm running out of time here, it feels like. But I'm not seeing in the dating market, my age range, I'm not seeing what I want out there. I'm not
Even
seeing it.
older men. Are you dating men, let's say over 55? Are you even
No.
dating?
No, and I'll tell you why. Unfortunately, the men I see at that age range, and that's not all men, but the men I see in that age range are not taking care of themselves. They're not taking care of themselves. They're not going to the gym. They're not drinking water. They look rough. And if I feel at 46, I'm out here competing with 26-year-olds, which I can't compete with because I'm not in that age anymore. I'm in my own box now.
Yeah,
So it's the reality of it, right?
yeah.
But if I want to date somebody that age, they got to look good for their age, and they're not. The
And
ones I'm seeing,
you're saying, Amy, at 46, although it's like you saying I can't compete with a 25,
I
you're
can't.
still doing your best. You're still drinking your green juice,
Hmm.
making sure you got a little lash, making sure you got
Yeah,
a little makeup, going for your walks, wearing a heel.
absolutely. Yep.
Yes, all of the things.
I
All
mean,
of the things.
Ashley, just today, where did I go? I went grocery shopping, and this is what I did. Because what you say about having pride in how you look, even if you go into the bodega when I was in New York, but even just going to the store, like put yourself in pajamas. You would never catch me with my nails not done. I mean, these are things I did back in what I was 15 years old. Always made sure I was put together. I'm a girly girl. I like my car door open for me. If I go out on a first date and that car door is not open, Ashley, that guy's not gonna see me again.
And you were on the live earlier when Miss Cat,
Mm-hmm.
I believe, said, she said,
Yeah.
I want a man who opens the door.
You
And
said
you're
bare
saying,
minimum.
yes. And I think you guys are in the same age group. She said,
We
I
are.
want a man who opens the door.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, that's what she said was on her list
Mm-hmm.
as like a deal breaker. If you don't open a door, whether it's a car door, department store, whatever door, if you don't open
Yeah.
it, it's a no. Yes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What is one thing you feel like you can work on about yourself so you can be a better woman in then your next relationship?
I would say I do have some body goals that I would like to achieve. I would like to lose more weight. I have lost a significant amount of weight, but I would like to continue on that path. And then also compromising. I struggle with that. I struggle because I am older and I'm set in my ways, and I do realize if I want to be a good partner to any man, I do need to compromise. Not compromise who I am, but just compromise a little bit in order to, be with that person. So I do want to work on that.
Yeah, and I think as you get older for women, or even men, but for women, right? You get
Hmm.
set in your ways.
Yeah.
It's very hard to get out of like this is what it is. But to
Hmm.
live and be in love with someone else, you kind of have to bend with certain things. And like you said, it's not
Right.
changing who you are completely, but you have to bend. Would you relocate for love?
It depends where, because I live 30 minutes outside of DC, so I am a city girl, so you can't take the city girl into the country, so it depends where.
I
It
think
depends where.
from the outside looking in, I think someone older. I think someone
For me,
older. Old school, yes. Older, traditional,
mhm,
old school. I would say go older.
like 50 plus.
I say 50 plus, 55. Because 50, they still
Really?
think they 25. 55.
I mean, as long as they, look put together, because I mean, I see these guys
I
online, they're
think
in
they
their
will be
40s.
more. I think they'll be traditional. They'll open up the door. They'll say, "Oh, you look pretty." Like little things.
Hmm.
35 is
No.
it's a needle in a haystack. I'm not saying it's impossible, but 35, they not even doing it for the girls who 22,
Right, right,
who don't
right,
gotta wear a
right.
bra, who don't gotta do makeup, who don't gotta do skincare. Those girls don't even gotta try, and they struggling, child.
Yeah, no, I know, I know.
Yeah.
These real young pretty girls are struggling. So I look at me and I'm like, well, what do I got to do to step it up? I got to do a whole lot, a whole lot.
Yes. So I say, but I'm not saying you can't find someone younger, a younger man who wouldn't be willing to do it, but I would go older. All right, Amy, where can this man find you?
Instagram is AMY and it's Amy AMYNY37. It's on my profile.
Perfect. Thank you, Amy, for coming up. Amy, I enjoyed that conversation with Amy. I enjoyed that conversation.